Like growing up as a woman, you're told all the time that you can't do that, that this isn't a thing that's for you. I straight up had a teacher in high school in computer science that wouldn't let me take comp sci. He's like, no, you go take home ec or something.
I think a lot of female game developers specifically get a lot of flack from people on the internet who are used to these certain types of games, and they're used to the image of what a game developer looks like.
Games have always been very, very, very important to me, and I've always wanted to do them more professionally, but it is an extraordinarily hard field to break into if you're a female. And the industry is by large shut down to women.
The reason I started to become engaged with social issues in games is because I had sort of a bunch of bad experiences when I was starting to get into game development. I came in, I was dating someone who made games, so I was always the girlfriend of someone who was working on a game. And because I had this strong urge to make games myself, that's started to rub me the wrong way for obvious reasons.
I think a lot of people are used to what a game is supposed to be. And when they see someone who is doing something completely different, their first reaction is just I hate this person and I hate what they made and they shouldn't be here, they shouldn't be on the internet, they shouldn't be making games.
Once I started experiencing sort of verbal abuse on the internet and people being oh, you're just someone's girlfriend who makes games, after I experienced that, I realized that it's a real issue, and that if no one steps up and speaks out about it, then nothing's gonna change. So that sort of motivated me to teach myself how to program, get really serious about making games, and go out there and try and make that change myself.
I've faced harassment, I've faced physical assault, stalking, and that sort of thing from things in the game space. God, do I want to say that? Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna say it because it's important. I originally took my game off Greenlight the first time because somebody sent a detailed rape threat to my house. Somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I just saw this thread on this message board. I'm giving you a heads up, that they're coming for you, right? Which I'm really glad they did, because I would have been a lot more confused and scared when I started getting the phone calls, because I wouldn't have known why or where. They're like, oh, don't look it up though, it's really nasty. So I look it up because I'm super curious, right? They were saying that women can't possibly know what depression is like because men will just come along and solve their problems for them if you have sex with them, that I have no right to complain about depression because I get paid to make video games, or because they assumed I had a boyfriend. And it's so hard to deal with abuse in this industry sometimes, because it's the first thing that so many people want to do is just to say it's not real and say it doesn't happen, or say it's an isolated incident, but then you see them saying it's an isolated incident 20 times, right? There's these people saying this doesn't happen, and I look over at my phone that I had to change the number of to get these people to stop calling me and being disgusting and being told that that's not real, that that's not happening, that you're hysterical or overreacting, or even in the saddest thing from other women, being told just to grin and bear it and keep your head down.
I love games as much as any other gamer, and it is kind of sad to see a lot of these people reject people who don't look like what they're used to. Especially as a woman of color, it makes me very scared at times to make a game that gets out to a lot of people.
I want to see games by all sorts of people from every single conceivable background that you can imagine. I want to see more games from developing countries. I want to see more experiences, because every single game is unique. Every single game has that fingerprint of who you are on it, and every single person has a game in them, and I want to see everybody's stories.
Games don't just have to be about things that they're used to seeing. They can also be more about humanity and emotions and things like that.
You're seeing us reach into these spaces and really welcome women into development, and that's going to really radically change things.
I can't wait for the day that I'm just a game designer, not a female game designer.